So thank you and welcome to Soul Soup this morning. I'm Dr. Janette Freeman. This morning we're going to dish up a little food for your soul and some transformation for your heart to support you on your journey of spiritual awakening and empowered living. So today's lesson is very important because today's lesson we're talking about unhooking from a low vibrational mindset and hooking into the higher vibrational mindset. In other words, aligning with the voice of the higher self. So let's go back. The problem is this mind, right? This loud, unsupportive, negative inner voice. And it's loud sometimes. It's the voice of worry and frustration. It's the voice of condemnation or even depression. So we've got this thing going, but we've also got another voice, and that's the voice of the higher self that's a little more difficult to hear. And so today's process and today's teaching is to help us to see what's happening internally so we can make some choices to claim more freedom in our life. Now let's back up a little bit and remember, you know that thoughts create reality. So thought is mental energy. Everything starts with a thought. It's a seed that grows and becomes physical existence. Thoughts create emotions. Now, we live in a vibrational universe and everything is vibration. And emotions vibrate at a certain vibrational frequency. So we have certain emotional vibrational frequencies at any given time. And we attract out of that emotional vibrational frequency all the time. So every vibration is either attracting more like it, in other words, creating more of what we want to align with, what we want in our life, or it is pushing away what we want and attracting the vibration that we are actually on. So the law of attraction, the law of vibrational frequency is not personal. The law obeys vibration. So the question is, what vibrational frequency have we been on lately? And don't worry if it hasn't been that high, because at the end of our lesson, we're going to do a process and we're going to bring it up. So low vibrational is the thoughts created from emotions like guilt, shame, fear, jealousy, bitterness, shame, pessimism. They drain you. And the high vibrational frequencies come from love and gratitude and joy and passion and excitement, positive expectation, enthusiasm, optimism. So we've got these different levels of vibrational thoughts and vibrational frequencies, and it's been called a scale of vibrational frequency that we can identify with and see where it is, where we are on that scale of vibrational frequency. So on one side, we may have coming in these loud, low vibrational thoughts, such as fear, worry, and frustration. And on the other side, there's another voice within us, and it's quieter and sometimes not as easy to hear, but it is also broadcasting higher vibrational frequency and thoughts. And that's the voice of the higher self. That's the voice of the higher self. And we can learn to listen to that voice and to align with that higher self's voice and that higher self's frequency. And when we do that, we're able to live at a higher level of consciousness, of frequency, and attracting much easier. It's like it reminds me of the story of this guy that lived out in the country most of his life. He lived out in the farm in the countryside in upper New York, and he went to New York City to visit a friend that had moved there. And they're walking down the neighborhood street right in the city. And this man says, "Hey, can you hear the grasshopper?" And his friend that lived in the city said, "Grasshopper? Are you kidding? I haven't heard a grasshopper for years." And he said, "Stop and listen." And they stopped. And he had to really listen and listen and listen. And pretty soon, underneath the bustle of the outer noise, he heard the grasshopper. Now, his friend who lived in the country, he was conditioned for grasshoppers. He was used to hearing grasshoppers. That was a part of his life. He was tuned in, you might say, to the grasshopper vibration. Now, we have an inner voice, and it's there. It's our higher self. We can never be separated from it. The higher self is our part of the divine, our part of source. It is individualized source, and it lives in us, through us, around us. It is who we really are. The spiritual journey is we're waking up to realize that that is who I am. So we tune and learn to listen to this powerful vibrational voice. And this voice is there. But perhaps we've been distracted by the outer voice, the conditioned mind, the voice of habitual thinking. And so we must train ourselves to listen to a new voice. The voice that's quietly, when we listen and tune into the breath, the voice that may say, "I am here. I am love. I am support. Right here where we are, all is." We learn to listen to this voice under this. This one may not even go away, but it becomes less noisy, just like the man could hear the grasshopper in the middle of this. This may not go away, but this inner voice becomes more profound. More profound. Now, let's just look for a moment, because awareness is half the game. And let's look at a vibrational scale from higher to lower and get a sense on the highest vibrational scale. And you'll be able to see where you are in any given moment. Because when we can start to see, wow, I'm really down here on a low number, then I can begin to just choose a higher thought, just choose a little bit higher, choose to listen internally. So imagine on this scale, on the highest part of the scale, you have joy, you have love, you have freedom, appreciation, knowledge, empowerment. You have passion, you have enthusiasm, down a little bit positive expectation, down a little bit hopefulness, contentment. And then moving down on the scale in the lower, we have boredom, pessimism, frustration, impatience, overwhelming, and a little lower, disappointment and doubt and worry and blame, discouragement, anger, revenge, hatred, rage, jealousy, insecurity, guilt, unworthiness, fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, and victim. There's a full scale going on. Now, the physical life is duality. You're not going to just be in one. You are going to go back and forth. This is our journey. But the awakening journey is waking up and realizing when we're really down here and getting tools and getting support and help and making a choice to go higher, just a little higher on this vibrational frequency by choosing an up-level thought, by putting our attention on something new, and by praying and asking for the higher self's input and learning to listen to the voice of the higher self, because the voice of the higher self is on the higher frequency. It is broadcasting from the higher frequency, and we must learn to hear that broadcast by letting go of our attachment and belief in all this clutter. And I'm going to ask a question and try this on for yourself. And let's just do a quick check. There's 3 different areas of human life that can cause the biggest triggers and the most emotional states, both high and low. Okay? And that's money, health, and relationships. Most challenges and the most growth. I'm going to ask these questions, and I invite you to ask yourself these questions for one reason and one reason only, and that's just to get a sense. If you can see what vibrational scale you mostly go to in these subject matters. Because if you're always going to a lower vibrational frequency when you think of this subject matter, then that's an area to work on, right? And if you're in a high vibration on certain things, then think about that often. And when you need to bring yourself up. So let's see. Just ask yourself these questions. When you think of your health now, how are you feeling? When you think of your health in 20 years, how are you feeling? When you think of your body now, how are you vibrating? When you think of money now, how are you vibrating? When you think of having lots of money, how are you vibrating? When you think of your intimate relationships, how are you vibrating? When you look at yourself in the mirror, how are you vibrating? Can you sense the different vibrations on the different subjects? Now, can you imagine how your higher self thinks on each of these subjects? You are a precious expression of me, and I love you. Might be one response. From the higher self's perspective, you are provided so richly. Receive the abundant blessings that I have for you. From the higher self's perspective, you are my beloved, and I love you so much. When I look at you, I see the face of God. The voice of the higher self is always a higher vibration, and we can learn to listen to this voice. And the more that we choose to listen to this voice, the higher vibration we will be on, and the greater our life experience will become. The higher self's voice, I am here. I am supported and safe and supplied. I am loved. I am lovable. I am loving. I am richly blessed. I'm constantly prospered. I am that I am. And that's more than enough. So we can see that as we can practice noticing where we are on the vibrational scale, so that when we notice, we don't spend a long time there, we see. We have the ability and the freedom of choice. And when we can notice that we are really starting to listen to this voice of fear, worry, doubt, and limitation, that we can cause and interrupt and maybe just move up the scale a little bit to say, I don't know how this is all going to work out, but I'm going to trust. I'm going to tune into the higher self through connecting to my I am line, through connecting to the breath. And connecting to the breath. I am here. I am here. And then up-leveling one degree, maybe to hopefulness. To say, you know what? I don't know, but I'm hopeful. I know that the higher self knows. And I know that I can choose that and claim it. No, I am. I am right here. I am prospered and blessed. I am loved and loving. I see all that I'm so grateful for. The minute I tune into gratitude, I remember and I move up the scale. So we can begin to make that choice for freedom this week. And I encourage you to do so, to begin to do that. But I want to give us a jump start right now, a jump start with our powerful spiritual activation process to access freedom and to invite the higher self's wisdom to up-level us. So in this process, we're going to release some of the things, the negative vibrations that have been hooking us, and we're going to go to the higher self and align with the higher self's truth. So I invite you to prepare for your process right now. That's right. And just begin to turn your attention to the breath. And move into our vertical breathing. And that's where we just start to align with this golden cord, this golden river of light right within us. Taking a breath, breathing in and out. Breathing up and down. With every breath, pulling your awareness right into your center. With every breath, pulling attention and awareness right in here, right into the center line. That's right. Connecting to the breath, and as you do so, you begin to relax so beautifully and instantly. Just letting go of all outer concern right now. So begin to tune in and invite the higher self to make itself known to us and to pull us into this center line, this I am line. Perhaps using the mantra I on the in-breath and am on the out-breath. I am. I am. I am. Pulling all awareness into your center, aware of this beautiful river of light. Imagining that it coming down from above the head, connecting front of spine, connecting down into the earth, to the center of the earth. And as we pull all of our awareness into the present breath of now, we align in our center and make that deep and holy connection to the I am, to the Divine One, to the higher self. And we invite at the level of the higher self that any residual energy that has been holding you to a lower vibrational thought, we invite the higher self and the ascended masters of purification to begin to unravel and untie that addiction, that habit, to that low vibrational thought. Perhaps it's around relationships, money, or health. basic worry, whatever it is for you, we invite at the level of the higher self that each one's higher self begin to unravel that thread, that habituated thought pattern, wherever it originated from, wherever it came from, genetically, historically, this life or another. We invite the higher self to begin that unraveling. And we invite each one that is listening to this to invite their own team to connect to their own higher self and clear it in the higher realms, to clear it in the team, any negativity, a dominant negative habituated pattern, to work with that one and unravel that through the power of the higher self. And I invite each one's team to encircle each one in a fortified force field of the higher vibration. That's right. Allow yourself to feel that begin to fall off and shed. Just falling off. You don't need to know how to do it. We're inviting the higher self to do this through its wisdom, power, and grace. That's right. Taking a breath and moving even more deeply into this center line. Imagine like a golden elevator that you could just move into this line and move up. Imagine that you could move up this river of light, this column of light, and moving up out of the body, rising above the body, and imagining, using your deep, beautiful imagination, that you can move out of the body and align up into the light of the higher self, moving into dimensional shift and moving in this beautiful light. And now imagining that you are surrounded in opalescent, gorgeous light. Moving into the heart of Source, moving in through the grace of the higher presence, the higher self. And allowing its voice to emanate within you. I am. I am. And as you even say, I am that I am. Affirming and knowing your own truest self. I am that I am. I am that I am. And asking at the level of the higher self, asking the higher self to establish a higher vibration for you deep inside. I want you just to choose something that resonates with you, like perhaps it's joy, that you want to activate the vibration of joy. Or perhaps you want to activate the vibration of love. Inviting the higher self to do this for and with you. And perhaps you want to activate the vibration of freedom. Freedom is that high vibration, that energetic tone that a lot of people seek. They seek it by wanting money, perhaps, when they really want freedom. And if any part of you hasn't felt free in life experience with regards to health or money or relationships, this is a time to invite the higher self to activate the frequency of freedom in you. That's right. And so choose one of these: joy, love, freedom, passion, enthusiasm. So we invite at the level of the higher self to activate this frequency of joy, love, and freedom. And make this so strong in each one that is listening to this, and download it into every cell of their etheric, spiritual, physical body, clearing all out and anchoring deeply this vibration of joy, love, freedom. And imagining the higher self say, I am joy. I am love. I am freedom. And vibrating with this, remembering that you're not separate from this I am. And claiming that and choosing that, aligning with that right now, this deep vibrational, I am joy. Of course, I am love. I am freedom. Knowing that when you say I am joy, love, freedom, that's true. The I am of you is joy, is love, is freedom. You are not saying something that is not true. That is the truth, and you are reminding yourself of the truth. And the more you remind yourself and align with the higher self's truth, the more it integrates into the personal self as well, that you can express the higher self's truth in your life. And the more you express the higher self's truth in your life, the more that you live in that higher frequency, the more we manifest and demonstrate out of that frequency greater life experience of joy, greater life experience of love, greater life experience of freedom. And we're going to cause first, living at the level of cause first, living at the level of the higher self and allowing the higher self to co-create that in our lives. Aligning with the higher self, cause first. So claiming that freedom, letting that integrate right now, it's working at every level. Integrating, inviting the higher self and the team right now to activate new reference points, new blueprints into the mental body of each one listening to this right now. The new programs, blueprints, and systems for greater joy, greater love, greater freedom. And then allowing that to just tie to you in all the places that you removed the old, allow that energy to really hook into your mental, emotional, physical body, yourself here, bringing it down right through that column of light, bringing that down right into the heart, bringing that into the body, accessing that in every level right here, right now. Bringing that down as you move down that elevator of light, coming right back here to your body. Just affirming it right down here into the body self. And affirming there's one life, and that life is the higher self. It is the I am that I am. It is God, it is spirit, it is universal nature. There's one life, and that life is joy. And that one life is love, and that one life is freedom. And that is my life now. And I live and move and have my being from that place, and I align with it right here, right now. And as I do that, everything shifts. And as I move through my week, I am aware when I dip down, and I make the choice to come back, and I choose one line that will bring me back. And choose your own line. So it might be, I am joy. I am freedom. I am love. Or choose your own one phrase that can bring you back. I am here, and I am at choice, and I am free to make a new choice now. So choose that, because you are free to choose. You are free to choose. And then just bringing your beautiful, beautiful awareness right back here, right back to the waking state, right back here. Taking a deep breath. That's right. Taking a wonderful deep breath. So thank you for joining us on Soul Soup today, where we bring weekly lessons to help you on your journey of spiritual awakening. So please share this lesson, this show with others. I also want to thank our donors. I have a gift this week. I created a wonderful new download for you, and it is a meditation to reinforce what we did today. And it is a meditation to align with the energetic frequency of freedom and flow with regards to abundance. So allowing yourself to move at that level of frequency of freedom and flow in order to align with greater abundance in all its forms into your life. And so that will be in the members back office. So if you're one of our wonderful supporters that give regularly to us, that's in your back office. If you want to have that as your gift today, if you're just listening into this, make a donation and I will send off a link to you that you can do that. I also wanted to let you know about the happiness program that is available that I created for people to really move into the frequency of happiness. And that's a much larger program with video teachings and several processes and 4 meditations that are designed to connect you to your happiness, to your divine self, awaken your higher self, learn the I am line meditation. And so that is available to our webinar people. And I'm going to put something up in the chat box for those of you that are listening to this. And the link will be on there. So that's the 3 keys to happiness. And that's got actually 4 meditations, ebook, and teachings. And you can click on there. And that's got a special webinar pricing, regularly $149 for $29.95. So that's there. You can check that out. Again, if you're one of our members that donate $100 or more, that's in your back office. Everything comes to you. Because we thank you for making it possible and being a donor. This is a nonprofit organization providing spiritual teachings, and we're happy to be able to do it. So you can check us out on the happinesskeys.org, and we'll be here every week. So go ahead and tell your friends about it. And thank you so much for being with us today. And have a beautiful week, up-leveling your awareness and living from the higher self in joy, love, and freedom. Many blessings to you all. Much love. I'm Janette Freeman, and I'm so grateful that you joined us here today. Have a blessed week. Bye.